Hello, welcome to Latvian A1, grammar and stuff. We're going to start with the basics. So first we need to know these kind of linguistic terms so that it's easier to understand. A noun is a person, place, or a thing. So for example, Bob is a person, Latvia is a place, and a sandwich is a thing. Verbs are action words. So for example, running, jumping, hoping, thinking. An adjective is a describing word. For example, blue, nice, big, soft. Those are parts of sentences. These are parts of words. A suffix is a word ending. So the S in cats, the ET in varet, the A in skola. Then there's the prefix, which goes in front of a word. So for example, non-fat, iepirkt. Then there's the root, which is without the suffix and without the prefix. The friend in unfriendly, the grib in negribu, the var in varet, and the vekal in vekals. Nouns, verbs, and adjectives create good sentences, the create being the verb, good being the adjective, and sentences being the noun. Then prefixes, suffixes, and roots create words. Now, when we're talking about Latvian words, we have to remember that they use prefixes and suffixes very often. And then it goes prefix plus the root plus the suffix. The reason that they use prefixes and suffixes so often is because Latvians use them in the place of additional words. So in English, we would say inside a store, but in Latvian, they only have to say vekala because the A with the hat, which is what I call those little lines, that represents in. That suffix means inside, in, or at. So when we look at nevaram, we think, oh, that's a big word, I've never seen that before. But then when we actually think, wait a minute, hey, I've seen ne before, that's a prefix, right? So we start to separate it. We separate it into the prefix, plus the root, plus the suffix. Then we find, so that's ne, that's the prefix, which means no or not. Then var is the root in varet. And then you have am, and since you know that var is a verb, you know that am is probably a conjugation, which are the suffixes in verbs. And so then you can think am, that is the we verb conjugation. And so then you put it together and it's no/not plus to be able plus we verb conjugation. So you switch it around and it's we not able. And then of course you can clean that up and you have we are not able, and then you can improve it even more by saying we can't. It's so important to keep an eye out for these prefixes and suffixes because they can make a confusing word extremely simple. Now here is a list of common prefixes. There's not that many, so all you have to do is recognize them and know that, oh, this isn't part of the root, this is the prefix. So it's a, eyes, op, at, bez, ia, is, ne, nua, pa, par, pia, priekš, sa, and us. Now this list does include things that they can be words on their own. Sometimes bez is on its own, sometimes priekš is on its own, sometimes pia is on its own, sometimes us is on its own, but they can also be prefixes which are attached to words.